Hey, this is Stuart, and you're listening to Irish Ears, a Disney Fancast. Unfortunately, we had a catastrophic audio loss on the first 48 minutes of this episode, which I managed to save just about. But if you can't stick Megan's voice being so low, you can fast forward to 47 minutes and 40 seconds for another hour of chats. We have a packed episode with 3 Disneyland Paris trips to catch up on, as well as all the rest of the news and chats about upcoming things and bits and bobs, and all the usual Irish Ears banter. Don't worry, the Symphony of Superfans series is going nowhere, but we'll touch on that later. Just wanted to welcome back Megan to the co-hosting chair. Megan, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be back. I was really sad to miss the last episode, but I am back in business now, and I will be here for the foreseeable future and for all the upcoming podcast episodes. So yeah.
It was a banger of an episode, the last one, in fairness. I said it to Aisling at the time. Yeah, I said to Aisling at the time that she's probably the first person who's been able to stop me talking so much. So we'll get her back on.
Yeah, for sure. I actually bumped into her in Disneyland Paris.
Oh, you did? That was gas.
Yeah, I didn't even know she was going to be there. It was really nice. Nice to see her. I had a heart attack when she came running up to me. So, yeah, it was a lovely surprise.
You never know when Aisling's going to be there because she kind of does this time delay on her trips, and it's like, surprise.
Yeah, she's quite elusive. I love that about her, though.
Yeah, it's the opposite of me, really. I tell you what room I'm in and everything.
You drop a pin. You actually drop a pin.
I pretty much do. Yeah, it's just easier for handing out the badges. So anyway, we have to talk about your trip and go ahead. So apart from the highlight of bumping into Aisling, when did you go? Where did you stay? Tell me.
We went in the middle of March, just before you. You were there for St. Paddy's weekend, weren't you? We missed you by a couple of days, and we were staying in Newport Bay for the first night, and the rest of our trip was in the Cheyenne. It was really nice. It was Amy's first day in Newport Bay, and she really liked it, and we had such a nice time in there. We didn't have park tickets for that day, so we were just kind of drinking our way around the bar and meeting the characters.
That's kind of nice
and stuff.
It's kind of nice
really
not to have park tickets, isn't it?
It really actually is. It doesn't, because I think if we'd even had them, even though we arrived quite late afternoon, if you had park tickets, you wouldn't have the pressure to go into the parks and make the most of them. Whereas, and sitting in the hotel would feel like a bit of a waste of the park tickets. But
yeah, we
didn't have them. So, and I would definitely do that again in the future. I would stay in a different Disney hotel the night before and make the most of all the facilities there, because there actually is a lot, and you can really put your time in just by looking in the shops, meeting the characters, trying all the interesting cocktails. We definitely put the time in nicely.
That whole week that you were there felt like an Irish invasion of the parks, because my Instagram was just full of people there, and I was like, oh, I should have been there for the whole week. I thought I was doing well being there for the weekend.
Absolutely everywhere. So it was everywhere we went, we could hear Irish voices. Yeah, so it must have been a popular week for these ones to go.
Did you do any character meets in the hotels?
We did. We went to Newport Bay a couple of times. That's the only one we did, because now they've moved to mornings. I'm not willing to give up my extra magic hour to go and do them. So we went to Newport Bay a couple of evenings. We met Pluto and we met Minnie. I think we met Pluto twice actually. But it was really good. I love the hotel character meets. The lines just go so much quicker, and I feel like you get sometimes a bit longer with the characters as well. Whereas when you're sort of in the park, it's sort of go, move on to the next family or whatever. But we got to spend a good length of time with the characters both times, so that was good. I wish the hotels would move. I know why they do it, to stop people like me hotel hopping in the evenings, but
yeah.
It is entirely to stop me doing that. But I do wish that they would put the characters from the Santa Fe, at least, or Sequoia Lodge back out in the evenings, because they've got the cute little hotel exclusive costumes, and I've still got loads of them to tick off, and I don't have the time or funds to stay in Santa Fe and Sequoia Lodge to tick them all off.
Yeah, with the character meets, I wish they could just do half and half. So maybe 2 at the hotels in the morning, 2 at the hotels in the evening.
Yeah,
or
that would be
like
so much better.
make them Disney hotel guest only experiences somehow. I don't know how you do that. Like show your magic pass to get in or something, like into the little area or something.
Yeah, probably be an extra. Guess it'll be an extra job for the cast member looking after the character as well, unless
True. I've been to Santa Fe. I've been to Santa Fe meets where like there's been no one behind me in the queue, and I've been there chatting away to Pluto for like 20 minutes. And sure, it's a one-way conversation most of the time. He's not very talkative. But how did you get on with Minnie? I remember you're like you had an iconic meet with Minnie a few years ago, sitting on the little ledge in Newport Bay. Did you remember?
Those pictures are some of my all-time favorite Disney photographs. Like, that was so nice, and there's a nice wee story behind that. I was actually wearing like a bandage thing on my knee. I'd injured myself, and it was kind of, she sort of had gestured to first to sit down instead of standing up, which was really nice. But
that's lovely.
I don't even care about that anymore because the pictures turned out great. I was like, yeah, it's a lovely gesture, but the main thing is I got really nice Instagram photos. But like, it was so good, and anytime seeing Minnie, I can't resist. Like, I couldn't go to a hotel and see her meeting there and walk on by. Same within the parks as well. If I'm around at Frontierland at the Cowboy Cookout, like, she is granted there most days, but I just couldn't walk.
You
past.
have to.
I have to go. Have to go. Don't care how long the line is. I was first in line when she came out.
Oh, I'd say so, yeah.
On our first day, 11 o'clock on the button. I was there under that umbrella, ready for my first hug.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! But it was great. She was so fun. Minnie never misses. She's just perfect every single time.
Never. I'll get to I had a great meet with Minnie as well, but I'll get to that later on.
Oh, 10.
Yes. So, like, what about the new shows? What do you think of, like, A Million Splashes of Colour?
A Million Splashes
Give me your.
I think, had I not already seen Dream and Shine Brighter, I think if I had seen A Million Splashes of Colour as my first big castle production, I would have loved it more. But because it's a similar kind of thing as Dream and Shine Brighter, and that it's got, the themed dancers, the characters, they go round on the floats. It's a mashup of songs in the middle. It's exactly the same format, but it just doesn't hit the same. I think it's the music. The first time we watched it, we sort of all felt that the music was sort of turned down, maybe. It just wasn't loud enough. So you were kind of like, I don't know how you squint with your ears, but like you're really having to listen.
That'd be sore.
Really having to listen to hear what song they were on and what they were transitioning into. It was louder the second time we watched it, but I think the first time I was just like, this is really, really strange. And we were standing right by a speaker as well, so it must have been a music or a music or speaker problem. But it is a good wee show. I would definitely recommend it to people to go and watch it at least. But if you're a hardcore Dream and Shine Brighter fan with expectations that this is going to be the same or better, lower the expectations a little bit. There was a lot of people actually around us where we were standing. We were standing inside the, in between the 4 stages, like the little hub area. And there was a whole lot of people around us, I heard, being like, but what's the point in the boxes? The boxes that the dancers are throwing around. Nobody knows.
No one knows. I think they've actually, I haven't seen those in a while. Have they gotten rid of them in the last few days or in the last week or so? I have to look back through my pictures and stuff.
Oh, I wouldn't
they might have binned them. Yeah, they might have binned them entirely.
They didn't make an awful lot
I've
of sense.
asked. I've asked other people, like, what's the story with them, and they said it was to symbolise the history of of Disney stories. And you're kind of going, that's a bit loose now. In fairness, like, you could be picking up blades of grass. Yeah,
exactly. You could be doing anything.
About the music, like, obviously, I like. The problem is, right, if you go back in time, if you had heard Million Splashes of Colour before Dream and Shine Brighter, like if it had come out in that order, I think you would prefer Million Splashes of Colour, like, to now. If you get, it's not better than Dream and Shine Brighter, but I just think it's not getting a fair view, because, like, Dream and Shine Brighter hit unbelievable highs, and I'm not also a fan of, like, this whole Dream and Shine Brighter, like, mega fan club. Like, I loved it. I was there. I was just so there. But we got to move on, folks. We got to move on. It's not coming back. Like, maybe it'll come back for some annual pass party in 40 years, but like, it's not gonna, like, it's not. You can't be just living your life through a show that's ended already. It's kind of crazy. But then again, if you're watching it, it's actually really funny. You can sub in like a monkey sailor mean. You can sub into the rhythm. Do you know the bit at the end where it goes the Million Stories song, you know, and you're expecting a big bang from the castle and nothing happens.
Yes.
If you put in a monkey sailor mean you do, you know, at the end of it, nothing happens. But you think it should happen.
Know. Do you know what I think the problem is? I think the problem is that it follows the exact same format.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so easy to compare. If it was a bit different, if it wasn't the exact same, you know, coming down on the floats, getting off the floats, playing like a medley of Disney songs, getting back on, it's exactly the same in that respect. So it is really easy to compare it. Whereas if they just shook it up a little bit, I don't know what they would do, but it would maybe have stopped the amount of comparison.
Yeah, I think from a logistical point of view, they found an absolute diamond with the way that works, the way the floats come out of one gate and then come down to the main stages and then go back again. So I guess they wanted to replicate that, because when I was there, sorry for spoiling my later on, but when I was there, it was like lashing rain pretty much the whole time. And then one of them was completely rained off. So in the middle of the dancing, they had to get everyone off the stages and leg them into the gate beside the first aid center. So, like, from a logistical point of view, they can put on their little raincoats and stuff and just come down and do like a medium show. So they have to have floats, you know. But like, I think it's getting better every time I hear it. But some of the music falls a bit flat, I think, and some of the transitions are just terrible. I don't understand what they were thinking.
The transitions aren't good. The transitions could be a lot better. But
like, I don't know if you saw, I put up a reel a few days ago of Moana doing her dance. And like, Moana is a very busy lady. She's not there every day. So that's why it's kind of special. She wasn't there when we were there. No. So like Montanui, she's got a new movie coming out. It's just lots to do as chief now, you know, so she's a hustler. But at the end of her little set, it goes into Mirabelle in Canto, and she kind of does this really unimpressed look that is like all of us encapsulated. Really, she kind of goes, "That's not a good transition." You know, she kind of just like, for everyone looking on the video, who no one's looking on video. But yeah, it's tricky. Like, they got two good songs in fairness with that Million Splashes of Colour, or Future Starting Right Now, and then Million Stories. Those two songs mished together at the start and the end, or whatever. But yeah, like, how many times are they going to try and flog Zootopia to get the crowd going a bit, you know?
Yeah,
it's like
I know.
The one song.
It was good. That is a good wee show, but I'm glad that I didn't love it too much, because I feel like whenever I went during Dream and Shine Brighter time, it would eat a lot of my day.
Yes.
Because I'd want to watch it like 3 or 4 times a day. Whereas with this, we watched it twice on the whole trip, and I was like, okay, satisfied seeing that now. So it gave me time to go and watch together multiple times instead.
There you go. Indoors, in a seat. Lovely. Beautiful. In
a seat. It was brilliant. I was like...
Well, that was your first time seeing it?
See it even more times. I wish I could have gone even more times. And I love that you can't film in there, because we obviously didn't know anything about it, didn't like have any spoilers, didn't know what to expect at all, so we just kept going back and watching it because it was so cute. Like, the wee song at the end of that is an earworm and a half. Yeah,
it's 5 out of 5 for me still. Like, I do think that they should have still, sorry to be pernickety now, but do you know the way they released concept photos for the show before it launched, obviously, and they were using the whole of the surrounding frame of the stage, and that just seems to have been lost, really. Now it just feels like no, it just feels like a bit of a hole now. The art. Like, it's not a good use of the space, really. And like I say to everyone, you have to be really in the middle to appreciate the show. If you're looking from the side, you can kind of see behind the moving screens.
That's true.
So,
but it was a fantastic 10/10 show. I actually enjoyed it more than Mickey and the Magician.
yes.
And I really like Mickey and the Magician, but I would prioritize Together over that now.
I wonder, could they do
trips.
something like, could they bring Together out of the studio, of the theater, and do a little parade? I know, like, would that be amazing
With
if
the
they did?
song.
With the song, yeah.
Yeah, with the song.
Like, Natasha,
Natasha,
here we go.
You're
Solving your problems.
Are you listening?
We're bringing studios back to life here, bit by bit.
We're coming to you with solutions here, babe. Solutions, not problems.
So what about nighttime shows? Talk to me.
Ooh, nighttime shows. I really liked the. It's not the real name for it, but the Main Street
Electrical Sky Parade
in the sky. Loved that. That's really, really cool, really clever. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't been, but there was one like section of it that I was just like, like, couldn't believe it. I'll tell you what it is after we've stopped recording, because I don't want to
I've spoiled the whole thing for everyone. Don't worry.
Been.
I've spoiled it thousands of times.
Okay, well then if that's the case, it's the train. I think the train bit.
Yes, and like, in fairness, no amount of talking about the show is gonna, like, ruin the experience for anybody. Like, I watched it so many times on YouTube before I even went over, and just you can't because, like, the first night or maybe the second night, I was listening to, like, my friends chatting about it who were there on the first and second night, and they were kind of going, oh, okay, well, not sure about this. But then when you're there, and I don't know, I felt so different when I was there to watching it on YouTube, like, just the music bouncing off everything, and then to see the pyro coming off the drones is incredible. Yeah, like the smoke and Hook's boat and stuff like that. But yeah, the train section, like, the bit that impresses me the most about that is actually the kind of 3D effect they have on the train coming down the castle and then out the little gate.
Yeah, like, it's so clever, so well done. Like, that was brilliant.
Yeah, and like, a lot of people, like, I spent my second trip kind of looking at the crowd more so than looking at the show, because I was recording the show, so I knew my eyes could be on the crowd.
Anywhere
and like, the crowd were loving it. Like, the crowd were like, so many people. Do you know? The name escapes me. Jess from Wales. What's her handle?
Yes, Jess. She was Jess in Fantasyland.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, she put up a beautiful kind of review of the whole thing, saying how it brought her back. Like, she's not in her 50s now or anything, but like, she brought her back to her childhood here in the Main Street Electrical Parade. And like, the creators of the show, like, I hope they know that they're bringing something back that's very special for people. So, and they didn't miss the mark with it. It would have been very easy to come back with something that was just tinsy and kind of, just kind of, this is a half beep attempt at bringing back it for merch or whatever, and they didn't. They brought back the heart of it, so fair play.
Yeah, it was so good. We
Speaking
were really
of merch,
happy with Dreams.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say about the t-shirt. Yeah, they brought out a Disney Electrical Sky Parade t-shirt, and they brought out like 10 units of it, and it sold out straight away.
I was just about to say, I don't even think I saw any of that, like, in the shops or anything.
No.
That'll be why, because there was like 10 units.
Yeah, I would have been lapping those up. Like, everyone who knew I was going over for the weekend or whatever said, oh, can you bring me back one or whatever? And I was like, okay, fair enough. But like, I haven't seen it since launch day in pictures and stuff. So
no, definitely
we're just going to get more
anyway.
Yeah, but now we have Pizza Spirit jerseys, so like, we should be happy with that.
They're stinking. Like, no harm to anybody listening to this who thinks they're lovely. Like, they're not. They're not it. They're not it. Why have they got so many? Why have they so many of them and so few Main Street Electrical Parade t-shirts? Like, how do they decide how much of each thing to buy?
I don't know. You're getting dressed. You're over in Campanile or whatever, and you're getting dressed for the day, and you say, right, I'm going to wear my Pizza Spirit jersey today.
No, you don't. You don't say that. People don't say that.
You don't say that. Anyway, sorry, you were talking about Dreams. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. We just had a really lucky experience with Dreams. because we watched the electrical parade and we weren't sure whether it was going to be on or not because the weather had been pretty ropey all day, so it was amazing that was even on. But as soon as the electrical parade finished, it started raining, and like obviously, you know, I don't stand and wait about for a spot for anything at Disney.
No.
I'm just too lazy for that. And I
VIP.
always come in at the end and stand on Main Street, and the view I have is the view I get, and that's fine. But just in between the electrical parade finishing and Dreams starting, it started raining, so there was a huge pile of people just left.
Nice.
So we just kept getting moved further and further up, like closer and closer and closer to Main Street, like the top of Main Street, which was absolutely brilliant. And like, it wasn't raining that much, like it was drizzling. And we had like all the, like we are the Irish, we have the gear with us.
Yeah.
The Irish have the gear. We've got the hoods, we've got our waterproofs. We're used to the rain. No bother to us to stand in a bit of drizzle. So we ended up having a really brilliant view for only rocking up, like just at the end of it. And it was brilliant. I love Dreams, I've got to say. Like, I know some people don't really like it because it's not as kind of high tech as Illuminations was, but I just love the nostalgia factor, and I love the whole story with Peter Pan losing his shadow and the way it all transitions. And
it's an actual story.
It's a story. It's got a beginning, middle, end, and that does it for me for Disney shows. If it flows into a cohesive story, they're already halfway there for me. So we really enjoyed it. It was Amy's first time seeing Dreams. She really liked it. Yeah, because we've seen Illumination so many times, but that was her first go at Dreams. And she's a huge Ratatouille fan, so the soul left the body when they started playing that music. So that was great. I definitely converted her to Dreams. I'm trying to think, did I watch anything else that was new while we were
just on Dreams? They finally finished the works around like Auberge, so they can now do the fire off, like the full fire effects now. So now you actually like feel the heat, you know. I love that part, the villains part, you know, where the dragon, Maleficent dragon is breathing the fire. I love that. Like, I don't think like the Illuminations versus Dreams thing is still raging on. And for me, like, fair enough, Illuminations is more high tech and, you know, has a bit more like, I think there's a lack of like, everyone's getting their Frozen hit now in about 2 years, but like, because, you know, there's no Let It Go or Frozen moment in Dreams, obviously. Yeah, they're just from a customer, like really cold, like hard facts, like customer satisfaction for like kids, families going, you know, they're missing a beat there with not bringing the Frozen section. Like with Dreams, like it kind of gave the formula for Illuminations, but like a better formula because it has a story. So yeah, they could easily slot some new stuff in if they wanted to, but I'm fine with it. But I could see how, you know, Mary. Yeah, I can see how Mary and John with their 2.5 kids like would kind of be like, you know, oh, Brave, like none of my kids have seen Brave, you know. Like,
yeah, it's what you grew up with, I think, because the ones that they represent in Dreams, you know, the older, and I say older, like making us sound really ancient, but you know, like like, you know, they have like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and they have, you know, this the ones and Peter Pan, the ones that we would have watched as children, so it feels really nostalgic and heartwarming to us. And like Aladdin is my favorite of all time, and that's in it, and like that hits for the people who are our age going. But I completely get it that if you've got little ones who love Frozen or Encanto and things like that, I can see why that maybe wouldn't hit for them, because none of the recent films, I think Ratatouille is probably the most recent film on it, possibly.
Yeah. I know Brave is recent too. I think this version of Dreams was just brought out it's known as the Brave Dreams because there was a few versions of it, and like Brave is in there.
I'm going to Google it.
But I love that.
Brave or Ratatouille.
There you go. The genie section, I was like, I love that section with the rockets going up. Like, it's perfectly mapped to our castle, so it's just. And then like the end of it is fantastic too. Like, they just press select all and send all the fireworks, please. So yeah, I love it. I'm so happy that Amy got to see it, because like I'm sure she wasn't too distraught that we didn't have live action Beauty and the Beast, Celine Dion section. Everyone loves
don't
that.
Even remind me that existed. That was like my least favorite part of Illumination.
Everyone just nodded off.
Yeah.
One of the things
is
is that
Celine, she's great, but
no, obviously no shade. One of the things with Electrical Sky Parade is that I think by this point now, a lot of the locals would have seen Dreams 2.0, like as in like it came back last anniversary, so it's running now for 11.9 months of the year. So I find that a lot of the locals and a lot of the repeat customers at Disneyland Paris leave after the Sky Parade. Naturally, just because, they've seen Dreams 10 times, but like, I'm just like, gimme, if you want. Give me a fireworks show, I'll take it, thank you.
Exactly. Trying to think, is there anything else that I was going to touch on? The Royal Banquet was actually the other thing.
Oh, yes.
Two things, and then we'll move on. 2 bits of DLP feedback. Royal Banquet, incredible. Like, would pay the €99 full whack for that, no problem. I think that was great. The question about that actually on your Facebook group earlier. I was talking about it. Someone had asked me about the food situation and whether it was going to be suitable for her family, because she knew I'd kind of been and talked about it before. I really loved it in terms of the food, but I wouldn't count us as fussy eaters at all. The only thing I don't eat is seafood, which is ironic considering there is a big massive table of seafood.
That's a mountain.
The Royal Banquet, but there's a lot of other options there. See, if you don't eat seafood, there's actually so much there to cater for you. It's like you're not going to go hungry.
I wouldn't have eaten. I don't eat shellfish, for example, and basically like half the thing is shellfish. But I'm real big on the kind of column B of the Royal Banquet, which is all these kind of like really what do you call it? What's the word? Kind of Moorish dinners. So they're all kind of not stews, but like European wet dishes, with chicken and stuff in them, and like there was a pulled beef, and there was, I think on top then there was like a duck tart or something as well. That was lovely.
That's what we were tearing into as well. That portion of that section of the buffet, we tore into that. It was brilliant.
Like you're not paying €100 for the food. Let's be honest. It's still not. No. Like even though it's in Disneyland Hotel, I think you're probably paying, 30%, €30 for your food, probably, I would say.
I think it's definitely a big improvement on the likes of the Plaza Gardens character dinner buffet. In terms of the food wise, definitely, yeah. And like, it's just, I don't know, I am not like a beige eater. I know like always comes back to this. But like things like nuggets, chips, those kind of things, I just wouldn't be eating that. Like when I'm going to the buffet, I don't require beige food. So I like trying the different like stews and the different just things that you wouldn't necessarily get at home. And the desserts there are just amazing. The most colourful table of desserts I've ever seen. Absolutely beautiful.
With the desserts, there was some curious flavors with the desserts. Like I tried everything. I wouldn't classify myself as a beige eater. Like I was a beige eater like 20 years ago, and then I grew up, and like it's so funny when you see, back to my Facebook group again, but you see like mothers on the Facebook group asking, and it's like, oh, I have a fussy eater, and it's like, oh, don't worry, they grow out of it, and like, no, it's the husband who's 50, like or something. But like with. I love those kind of. I'm definitely like I went to recently. Sorry to jackknife this whole conversation, but Billy Bob's, like the buffet at Billy Bob's, and that is just like someone looked into my mind and put a buffet out for everything that I love, all that Tex-Mex stuff. But yeah, so with the desserts at Royal Banquet, beautiful looking. I found them.
Gorgeous.
Some of the flavors were a bit challenging, I think. I think it was really? Tiana's little jelly thing that tasted a bit soapy. I couldn't trust anything after that.
I didn't have that. I'm trying to have a look on my phone here to see because I took a picture of everything to see Oh, the standout one. I know anyone listening to this can't see it, but I'm going to show you anyway. I'm going to try and hold it up to the camera. It's like a rose-shaped dessert. Did you see this? Okay. It's like bright. I don't think we got that. Like a rose, and it was basically what it was like birthday cake inside it, but instead of icing, it was like a raspberry mousse on the outside. It was really. It was like, it sounds strange, but it was the best, one of my all-time favorite DLP desserts. So nice. I wish you could get it in some of the other places, because I would definitely go for it.
There you go.
It was
the thing about desserts is that I compare everything to downtown for desserts.
Yes.
And I think actually downtown's gone a bit backwards recently with desserts.
I was underwhelmed.
Because
yes, we found that too. Like, there was more desserts there that I was like,
It's like as if they've brought in some variety at the detriment of, like, you know, they didn't want to make everything just chocolate mousse. And now Groot is not a biscuit anymore. Groot is chocolate too. So it's a bit strange. I'm looking through my pictures too to see my pictures of the Royal Banquet, and but obviously no one can see us. But yeah, in general, they're good desserts. Yeah, I'm getting very hungry now watching this. Oh, they had beignets as well, Tiana's beignets, and then they had I don't see the rose dessert that you were talking about. Lots of little tarts and things, yeah. But would you, like, if you had a fussy eater, or if you were talking to someone who had kids or whatever, like, it's a fact of life at Disneyland Paris that you could go and spend between, like, obviously 40 to €100, and your kid just might eat 3 or 4 plates full of Mickey Mouse potatoes. Yeah. This is just a fact of life. Like, you have to.
Very real thing.
Unless you spend a few months before your trip getting your kid to open up their palate a bit, you just gotta accept that. That's what's going to happen.
I think for the characters, though, it kind of is worth it, because, well, especially if you're really into characters and the characters wearing fancy outfits like I am, because my, like, absolute goal, dream, holy grail character meet was Minnie in the princess outfit. So there was no question about it. When this trip came around and the Royal Banquet was open, I was going. And I think the whole thing was worth it for that alone. But it is so nice. We got to meet the characters quite a lot of times. I don't know whether your experience was the same, but they just keep coming round and round and round. So we got to meet some of them all twice, and then some of them 3 times they came around, and it was really fun.
And then, like, they actually, were you put down in the horsey room?
Yes.
There's a room to the very left when you walk in. So you walk past the buffet and it's down the steps.
Yes.
Most adult couples are put down into the horsey room, basically. And then the families are all put up in the family room, which has the kind of crazy couch thing going on.
It's the one we were in.
It's underneath the Casa Club Lounge. Is the family room. And but I was going to say, so when I went there, we got all the characters, and then they all came around twice, or like I think at some stage the characters were pretty much tripping over each other to where to go next, kind of thing. And that's why I met Minnie once, and then I was like, never got a video for Megan. And then I was like, Minnie came back around, and I was like telling my story. I was like, I have a friend. And that's why she did the video then after that. But like, so if you didn't come around twice, you weren't getting a video. But yeah, like, you do really do, like, the one thing that kind of puts me off is that, and I know why I've done this, because they kind of, Disneyland Hotel does awkward things to make itself exclusive. So, for example, you can't book the dinner unless you're staying at the hotel. Yeah. You can only book lunch. And dinner is Pluto and Goofy.
Oh, is it?
Now, a lot of people... Yes. So, if you want them, you have to book the dinner. And also, the fish and non-fish options at the dinner are better than the lunch. Right. So you get lobster at dinner, whereas you get the little langoustines at lunch, and you get actual steak at dinner, and you just get like carvings of beef, or at the lunch. So
lunch.
just something to think about. If you're staying at the hotel, you might want to take the dinner, because you don't get a chance to take dinner if you're not staying there. And you might
I
stay there
didn't
once.
realise that that's how they were working the characters. I thought it was just luck. I knew like Mickey and Minnie are kind of always there, but I didn't realise that there was like a rhyme and reason to like Donald and Daisy and Goofy and Pluto. That's interesting.
There you go. Yeah, and then obviously you have only 4 characters. So like, what do you think of that? The way you have 4 characters and you get 6 at Plaza Gardens.
I was happy enough with that because I'm a character person and I wanted to see them in their like fancy outfits. I think if there'd been 4 characters just in their classic outfits that you can meet them in the park in, I wouldn't have been happy with that. But because they've got nice exclusive outfits, for me that was a real draw to go. I would rather have 4 characters in funky outfits than, 6 in classic, but that's just me, I guess.
Yeah.
As a fussy character person.
That they probably set up Plaza Gardens as like a family pleaser location where you can go and you get your Mickey Mouse potatoes and you'll see 6 good characters. So it's like value for money as far as like getting those moments for the photo album or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think of the vibe of the hotel? Feel free to offend me.
I thought it was all right. Like I don't think it was like. I think when you go into the lobby, the big beautiful picture of the castle, or the big painting of the castle. That is stunning, beautiful, gorgeous. 10/10. Love that.
The AI picture.
Is it an AI picture?
Well, it hasn't been passing the AI tests. The way you can run pictures through AI.
Who's doing that?
Oh well, as soon as the first day it was seen. Yeah. The first day it was seen. There's these kind of, it's just very smooth and there's no credit to any artist. So like they could have easily just come out and said, oh, done by a cast member. But it hasn't been. So there was a bit of controversy over that when it came out first.
Oh, well,
just the way of the world these days. It is nice. It's a nice picture.
But like I personally don't really like see like the bit in the middle where you're waiting for your character dining in between the 2 restaurants and stuff. The
rotunda, yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. The way they've done that up is really, really pretty and quite regal and nice. Cafe Fantasia is so. I was about to swear there, but I'm not going to. Absolutely
keep it clean.
Soulless compared to what it was.
Yeah.
Like we didn't even go in. We were thinking about it because we went with 2 friends of ours, to our royal banquet lunch, and we're like, oh, we'll go into the bar afterwards because it was absolutely hammering with rain that day, so you don't mind stopping off in one of the bars if that's the weather you're getting. So, but we just all kind of looked in and we were like, actually, do you know what? Nah, we'll give that a miss and we'll go to somewhere else, because compared to what Cafe Fantasia used to be, it's lacking in. It could have been anywhere. It didn't really give the same. It's kind of like what they've done with some of the hotels at Walt Disney World. They've kind of corporatized some of them a little bit, and it made it kind of un-Disneyfied it.
It is a place you could probably go with a laptop and like work for a few hours.
Exactly.
And really... not be too disturbed by magic, I suppose.
Yeah. And that's not kind of what you want when you're paying that much money to stay in the hotel. So we did give the bar a miss. The shop was nice.
But even the cost of the bar though, I don't know how they're it's famously €9 for a Coke, €11 for a coffee, 17 or 18 for a 500ml bottle of Guinness. That is 9 in Hotel New York. So it's nothing special, I think my first weekend there, I was obviously, I think as well, like when you're staying there, and I've done a visit and then I've stayed there as well, so I kind of compared the mentality that I had. Because the exclusivity of the hotel, and because you have to like get a bloody line bertie to get into the hotel or book a royal banquet, whatever. Like I felt when I got a line bertie that I was kind of trespassing, or like I wasn't welcome as much as I don't know if it's just a mentality thing. And obviously I was there for a very special day when it opened first, so it's hard to kind of say what the regular feeling is of staying in the hotel.
Yeah.
But I felt that when I wasn't staying there wasn't as much magic I didn't feel like I belonged there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a
I wouldn't
snooty
have said
thing.
it was magic. I wasn't feeling magic at all, really. Like,
yeah, I
yes,
didn't feel it when I was a visitor.
In the banquet, in the character dinner, yes, that was magic because we had such a fantastic time and all, and it was just so nice to have that like more one-on-one time with the characters and stuff. That the magic was definitely there at the character dining, but like walking around the building, going in the shop, and like looking at the bar and stuff, the magic was not really there for me in that respect.
No, and they make an effort for not to be there because visitors and lunch guests are only going to be there for a certain time, and then once the visitors and the lunch guests leave, the magic is ramped up a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't inspire you to want to stay there, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you were in there, like, to have a look around, it wouldn't inspire you to book a room because you're like, oh, no, this is a bit mid. Like, it wouldn't inspire you to come back with a hotel booking.
Yeah, I don't know how they're communicating to people that, you know, you have to stay there to get more magic, because it's not coming across in the kind of in the content that people are putting out. But like, you know, just from obviously staying there, when Table de Lumiere opens up, it's just like Princess Times Square going on, you know, in and out with all their princes going in and out.
Oh yeah.
And then the characters from the Royal Banquet go in and out as well. And then because it's guests, the princesses can kind of roam the hotel a bit more. Because I don't know if you saw the Royal Troop, did you?
No, didn't see anything.
So the
like
Royal
that.
Troop is the little live show they do down in the lobby. And for that, they kind of, at the end of the show, sorry for the spoiler, but it's a giveaway, they welcome, like if the story is about Cinderella, then Cinderella comes down the steps at the end. And if the story is about Rapunzel comes down the steps at the end, you know? But
nice.
for the minute or two before the end of the show, the princess is just hanging out in the upstairs kind of, you know, balcony area with like guests, just like bouncing around with guests. And then to get there, that princess has to just kind of walk through the hotel a bit, you know, just like shoot the breeze. So during the Royal Troop times, there's pretty much no Lime Bertie guests there. And there's less and less kind of visitor guests who are doing the Royal Banquet for lunch. So I don't know. I think that there's more magic when you stay there, but I don't know. They're not really telling people you got to stay here to get more magic. You know, it's a tricky one.
No, I think
it
is, and I think you're right.
I haven't heard anyone who's been disappointed by staying there, but there have been. I don't know if you heard. Obviously you did hear because you're an avid listener of the podcast. But I think I went on a bit of a rant with Aisling last time regarding the kind of housekeeping and that kind of you know, stuff. I watched a vlog today. Yeah, I watched a vlog today. It was a lady who stayed there a week after it opened. She was French. I cannot remember her name. Sorry. Just a random YouTube recommendation. And she opened her minibar, and there was like an IKEA Ziploc bag of someone else's, like, you know, snacks from who stayed there the night before. Yeah. And there was a bottle of Coke. So yeah, there was a bottle of Coke that obviously didn't belong in the bar because you don't get a bottle of Coke with the bar. So that kind of stuff is, now that was a week after it opened. So I think, and hopefully the message has got back from like all the content creators and whatnot, that this level of service is not good enough. And I think I haven't heard any bad reviews in the last few weeks.
No, I haven't either.
So yeah,
it's hopefully it's not the service you expect for the price you pay to stay there, for sure. Like, it really isn't.
No,
but
it isn't. This is the same people who put up wallpaper in the Worlds of Pixar land, you know, and now it's peeling, and now they have to redo it again and again and again.
Studios.
Oh,
that was the one more thing. The one more thing I wanted to say on my trip, and then I'm going to drop the trip.
Yes.
Was Avengers Campus is so disappointing in B mode. It is really, really poor.
You mean during the downtime weeks?
But they're not even downtime. That's the kind of, I think that's my kind of issue with it, because we were there.
I don't mean like times of the year. I mean,
quote. Yeah, I don't know. We were there at like a quote. It wasn't quiet by any stretch while we were at Disney. Like it wasn't a quiet time, but they seemed to be operating Avengers Campus on the absolute bare minimum. And like, it's not like you can, I don't think it's acceptable to have that level of B mode at any Disney park, because I've been in B mode at Avengers Campus in California, and it's still 10 times better than what we experienced in Paris there. Like, they still have all in their B mode, they still have all the shows running, but they cut it down from 5 shows a day to 3. Yeah. Whereas when we were at DLP during their like downtime, B mode, whatever they want to call it, there was absolutely no shows at all running, like nothing. And we were kind of we kind of knew that was going to happen, from watching DLP report that they weren't having the shows on. But they didn't even have characters walking around. Like,
that's bad.
We were in Avengers. We spent a lot of time in Avengers Campus because I love the rides and because I love the hero station. I'm really bad at names. Where you book it on the app. I love doing that. So we were, hero training. We were in there because that's why we ended up in Avengers Campus quite a lot, because I like the rides and the hero training and things like that. But we were there for 4 days and we saw one character roaming.
Wow.
One. And we were there for a long time during the days, because that was where we were kind of sitting and chilling when we needed a minute as well. So I was like, oh, somebody's got to come out. Like, I don't know, it just was a lot lower. Our expectations weren't high because we knew that the shows were going to be off, but we were expecting a lot more characters to be around to make up for that. And the only person we saw walking around was Captain Marvel, and that was one day.
Carol.
Yep, Carol, and she was lovely. I went up. Of course, I went up. I can't walk past Carol. I went up and said,
"No, of course not."
And all. She was an absolute Disney princess, as always. We love Carol, but it was just really. I just found that element so disappointing. I thought they would, like, if they're not going to have any shows on, they should at least have some characters roaming about. And like, it just was. We tried it day after day to try and get more, and it just didn't happen. It was the same thing every day. Like, we didn't see any heroes at all, apart from the ones who were on scheduled meets. So it's a bit like,
Yeah, the problem I think they had this year was that they did the kind of, well, these contracts for performers, they have like a 6 to 8 week break in the first half of the year, whatever. And last year it was definitely earlier. It was like January and early February, whereas this year it's clearly, all of March and the last 2 weeks in February, which is the worst time at all.
Easter holidays.
Avengers Camp. Yeah, crazy. And as you say, it just feels a bit bare, doesn't it? I mean, like, I went the day after, or 2 days after you got back, and I saw Star-Lord Peter Quill. Yeah.
The one person I wanted to see on that whole trip was Star-Lord, and I didn't see him.
I was sad that I saw him for you, because you bounded as Star-Lord, and I was like, oh God, that is sad.
To be fair, I got a good interaction off our good friend, your friend and mine, Natasha Romanoff.
Oh, stop.
So it was
worth that.
Really?
I don't think I can.
I met her twice. We met her twice. She was in the Hero Training Center.
I don't think I physically can meet her.
Incredible.
I'd have to. I'd have to turn back around again.
Incredible.
Yeah, I know.
Wonderful.
Anyway,
someone,
but like, they have all these corners of Avengers Campus, like over near the exit of Fly Force, and then down by the Super Diner where they could do other meets. And I don't know, it's obviously a budget thing with people, and unfortunately that they just can't put enough people there. So
they just need to get more money. If other parks can do it.
Well, today they've increased the price of the luggage, so that's going to pay for more Avengers
again.
Yeah, it's gone up. I think it's like 14 or 15 euro for the top. For the top one, it's gone fairly crazy.
It's only just gone up when the new annual passes come out.
15 euro for a large now, and it's €4 for an accessory. An accessory being like, a hat or something.
Daylight
€4
robbery.
for a hat.
Daylight robbery.
So that's Avengers Campus. Like, when it is good, it's good, I think. I remember walking in there, and literally every few yards I saw another character. But like we always say every episode on here, is that DLP guests do not help themselves with the fact that, like, you know, characters are just thronged and pushed, and it's just not nice, really.
No.
So I think that concludes your trip recap, unless you have anything else to.
No, that's about it. That's for me. Those are the main things that I wanted to hit on anyway.
My trips, like, I'll be brief about them. The first trip was more a family trip, and what did we do? We stayed in the Stay City, which was nice. I'd never stayed there before. It kind of runs a bit pricey for, like, you know, 2 people staying or 4 people staying, but they do like a 16-person villa, which could be some banter. Yeah, and I'll look at that in the future.
It's good if you're going with a big group.
Oh, big time. Imagine that. Like, I think it's like 8 bedrooms. But so that was Paddy's weekend, and to be honest with you, I was massively disappointed by just Disneyland Paris and Paddy's Day itself. I mean, last year we had a big downgrade from the previous year, I think. Last year we got some pre-show to the fireworks, and we got a photo spot that you could take your own photographs. There was no characters. But then like 5 years ago, you would have Mickey and Minnie in
costumes.
Yeah, Irish gear.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's making these decisions. I think it's a good win for them. Like it was just sad to see. Like, there was so many Irish folk just walking around. Like, you can see them all in their green, their GA jerseys, and like you can see the heads on them and stuff like that. And there was nothing for anybody. Like, Disney Village kind of came alive a little bit in the afternoon, but that feels separate to Disneyland Park, you know, so it doesn't really feel the magic much. So
like I don't know, I kind of get it because it's not a French holiday, and the French don't really celebrate St. Patrick's Day, but because they've done it in the past, it feels like a massive downgrade, because they did make a big deal of it and then all of a sudden stopped. You know, it's like if they'd never made a fuss of it, it would have been okay, but because they used to and then took it away, it just feels a bit like
Yeah, I think just like Paddy's Day worldwide is this really like non-threatening celebration of another country's traditions and stuff like that, and like, you know, the Americanized Irish thing going on. So like, I don't know, the French love us. Everyone loves us. Like, why wouldn't they have Paddy's Day for us?
Well, they should. I'm not saying they shouldn't have it.
What did I do that whole weekend? Pretty much, it was Paddy's Day was the Sunday, and Stay City, and just shot the breeze. Like, we had 2 girls with us, and you know, we just did a lot of rides, and we had Topia like 3 or 4 times. We were very much under the instruction of the children, 7 and 8 year old. So I had a big plan to meet, like, you know, all the characters in the whole place, and that was not the order of the day.
Did not happen.
So no. So we did what we did, and still had a great time. I think we did the fireworks on the first night, as I always say to everyone to do, because the second night and the third night, whatever, people get tired and cranky and whatnot.
And weather, you got to give yourself as many chances as you can during that time of year.
In fairness to Disneyland Paris, it lashed rain weather-wise on Paddy's Day itself there, so it was full-on Irish weather, which kind of was a bit of a bummer. But then, don't tell my family this, but like, my little solo night for the AP party was full of ups and downs. So I don't know if you might have seen, I had a mad race from the airport to Disneyland Paris, where I met up with Ben Spalding. We know to be producer of live entertainment at Disneyland Paris, and he kindly invited me into what they call the Régie. I forget the French name for it now, but it's like it's the little producer's box area that overlooks the fireworks. And we had great chats, and I got the best pictures and videos that I've ever taken of any fireworks show, of anything. And we had chats all about Electrical Parade. We had chats all about Dreams. We had chats all about, like, I don't want to
all the good stuff.
ruin. ruin the confidence here or whatever, but like we had chats all about the logistics behind the shows, which I find fascinating, just to kind of, how such a big show happens every night, and people give out about, oh, there's no drones tonight, or like, just little things going wrong where there's like 1,000 moving pieces going on in the background, and these shows still go off every night, and no one cares that it takes so much effort to put them on, but they do care when they don't go. So shout out to everyone who involved in the nighttime shows at Disneyland Paris, because I mean, Ben could have talked for about 12 hours telling me all these things in behind.
Great guy, and then
the AP party itself, like I said, up and down weekend. I think I'm done with those AP parties. Like unless it's some sort of like Avengers night or something that really piques my interest. Like the villains night was good as well, as a theme. But like this notion that, fair enough, Disneyland Paris, we know it's in France, right? But they keep on making these nights completely French speaking, and it's awfully just exclusive to non-French speaking guests, and it's like verging on being insulting that they take your money. And then I had to ask, there's these characters dotted around, not like traditional characters, like random characters in Frontierland, like the inhabitants of Frontierland. And one fellow was standing on a big plinth and he was shouting French, and so I said to him in French, "Excuse me, can you please speak some English for a second?" And he said, "Oh, absolutely no problem." And he spoke some English, so fair play to him. But like the passwords that you had to collect all around the lands were in French, and then you had to give those passwords to get into these cordoned off corners of the lands, which had super rare characters and music and live entertainment going on in those corners. So, like, fair enough, it was lashing rain the whole night and cold, but it was just not a vibe for me, and I'm going to need some massively tempting theme to venture back to one of those parties again, which is a shame because I actually loved them. The fact that it's open so late, and like these things in the summer are way better. No,
you're not the
I don't
only
think
person that I've heard who've said that they're not doing AP parties anymore. There's a lot of people that I follow on Instagram said the exact same thing after that party about having, like, obviously I wasn't there, so I don't know, but like people saying that they were fighting the cast members were very rude and standoffish when they were trying to like give passwords, even though you could tell that like French was not that person's first language. You know, and like that's not really a way to treat guests. It's very like unwelcoming. If people are trying in a language that they don't speak natively, like it just doesn't feel very inclusive. And I would have felt really uncomfortable in that situation as well. So I can kind of see why that one would have put people off.
And I'm thinking, like, sorry to bang this drum a little bit, but like from a accessibility point of view, for like different abilities and things like that, it's complete write off for anybody. Like there was clues up steps, for example. So if you're in a wheelchair, you're just buggered, right? And say like neurodivergent people, like okay, fair enough. It's going to be a kind of a treasure night. It's going to be a treasure hunt situation, but it might be completely incompatible with just what you have going on. That you can go around and get all these clues and then speak French to a stranger, and then like it's just not compatible or not really inclusive for a lot of people. Was not a good vibe, and I was there like pretty much alone.
Bang the accessibility drum all day long because they won't change it,
and they won't.
If you don't,
like
you just have to keep yelling at them for it.
Yeah, it's just really bad. Like I'm hoping to sit down with someone in Disneyland Paris in a few weeks. It's going on now a while. My requests just about the whole thing for like Irish people. Like even our little list for priority pass is like shockingly short and stuff like that. So, rant over. I won't be going back. Like fair enough if you can guarantee me like that it's 25 degrees at midnight, and I'm gonna have an Avengers disco. That'd be great. Like I loved Pride. I loved it as a party. But yeah, these random AP nights, they're just peaks, like that Disneyland Paris ultra French, attitude, and I'm just not digging it. It was the same thing. Do you remember those Showtime YouTube
yes,
things?
I remember
it was
those.
That really, yeah.
They were inaccessible too. I stopped after the first 2 of them. I was like, I'm not watching this no more. I'll just catch the highlights in DLP report.
Well, you were just reading. You were reading the translation basically, and they brought Mirabelle out about a year before she was actually included in some sort of parade or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is like on the Sunday. Sorry, just a massive shout out to a big fan of the podcast, Paddy Byrne. Paddy is an absolute legend, and I was hanging out with himself and one of his mates Lee and his other mate Eugene, and the 4 of us were going around that whole day after the AP night, like some sort of stag party all around Disneyland Paris. The 4 lads just having the crack. I don't know if you've actually, I didn't share the picture of the 4 of us. I'll send it on to you after this. Sorry to everyone listening.
Do.
But we met Minnie, and it was a pure stag party situation. just like Minnie in the middle of the 4 lads, and it was like, hey, it was just great crack.
That's so funny. I'm sure she loved that too.
Yeah, no, Paddy and in fairness, his mates pretty much saved that weekend for me, in fairness. So I was going around we love you, Paddy, and I was going around the AP party with Paddy and then some other mates, Malia and her mum, and we were all doing our best, and it just wasn't good crack. It was just the rain, and I had everything I owned in my bag on me at the same time, so I had to spend an hour and a half between the hours of 1 a.m. and 2:30 in a Adagio Ceres. Remember, we're not sponsored by Adagio Ceres, but they have very good hair dryers. Good to know. I was drying my shoes because I had nothing else for the next day. So I had clothes, but I didn't have spare shoes. So we just whistle-stop tour through my trips. I'm massively looking forward to, spoiler alert, this group trip that I have going on in 2 weeks. I cannot wait for this. I have a little WhatsApp group going, and everyone's great crack, great banter, and it's going to be 25 of us on tour over there, on matching t-shirts and stuff. So I can't wait. Tune in for the review on the next podcast, probably.
Yeah, I'll be glued to the stories watching you.
Yeah, well, my purpose of that weekend is not to make too much content, in fairness. I'm kind of there as guiding people around the place, but I imagine we're going to get some great crack on camera. Please God. So we'll move on then to the news topics of the day. April 4th is today, 4/4. There's an awful lot of news pending on what I call Walt Disney Studios. I think everyone calls it Walt Disney Studios at the moment because it's just the amount of work going on. We have a planned closure coming up at the end of April of Studio 1, which is the entrance building, as everyone knows. They're finally, thankfully, getting rid of that awful restaurant on Coulisses, which again was just a big nugget fest for everyone. On April 12th, we have this huge event, which unfortunately I can't go to because I have the group trip, and I had 2 trips in the last 2 weeks, so it's it's expensive to divorce stuff like that. So, but April 12th looks like an absolute banger. There's an event on in the Studios Theatre where they have Together. Oh, Together is not running for April 11th and 12th while they get this set up.
Yeah, so if you're going those dates, guys.
Yeah. It's going to be a whole day of just news and sneak peeks into the shows, and, a lot of information coming up. I don't know if they're going to give all the, expansion information on April 12th or leave it for D23. I heard that's coming at D23.
Yeah. I heard D23 for the Third Land anyway.
Exactly. But, D23, they don't like talking about Paris too much. So... No. Maybe Paris might...
It's not the place for you.
No. Well,
if you're in
nobody
Paris,
in California,
D23 into it.
Nobody in California cares what's going on in Paris, really, apart from the absolute diehard international visitors. One thing that's caught my eye in the last few days has been a bit of a momentum on this new name for the land. Are they going to rename it, do you think? They rename it when they open the whole park? Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. Literally yesterday was the first that I'd heard of that, but I'm kind of the more I think about it, it does kind of makes sense if they're getting rid of the whole like film studio concept. It does make sense, but like equally, I don't know what you would change it to. Like worlds of Marvel and Pixar and all this. Like I was going to swear again. I held it back. I don't know. I don't know what you would even call the park, because it doesn't really have like an overall theme. It's like lots of little lands bung together. So I don't really know what other cohesive name you could have. Like that
yeah, I don't
everything.
think the words like and stuff would do well on a billboard.
No.
It's like some people have come up with like Storybook Park and like
Stuff and Things
Pixar,
Park.
but then you have Stuff and Things Park. One thing that was kind of very much Disney would be like Disney Star Park, or something to do with like adventure. It's very kitsch, but like at the same time, after 10 years of saying it, it might sink in a little bit. It's hard to know what would land well, because it has to be dual lingual as well.
Yeah.
Bilingual. And like the French love the word adventure, adventure.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's hard to know.
Pixar and Marvel adventures and stuff.
Stitch and other stuff. Yeah.
It's Marvel, Pixar, and Tower of Terror.
There you go.
There we are. Like, do you know what? This whole thing has me even more convinced that they're going to retheme the Tower of Terror.
Yes, well,
because the Tower of Terror does not fit the Hollywood, like the Soul Studio kind of theme is gone now, so that doesn't really fit.
Yeah, they're making it into like what the whole park's going for, like this corporate luxury thing. So if they're to retheme Tower of Terror, I mean, there was another rumor about Tower of Terror as well, getting rethemed to Doctor Strange. So not like a complete retheme of like Guardians, obviously from the States.
Yeah.
But Doctor Strange, what did I see it called? The Tower of the Multiverse or something like that. Like you could probably do something there.
That sounds
I think
cool.
it'd be kind of cool.
I'll take that. Yeah,
because
I'll take
I don't know if you saw it. I don't know, you're kind of light into Marvel stuff until you saw Guardians and Carol. But
yes,
in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, like that's pretty much a horror movie at times. So they could definitely go for that. Like opening date, like who knows really. They're going hammer and tongs at the construction work at the moment. They're filling the lake. Our little Rapunzel teacups could be ready by the end of this year if they really wanted to do that.
They're just going to airdrop it, aren't they? Like it's going to be like a crane jobby. Like one day it'll be there, and then the next, or like 1 minute there's nothing, and then the next minute it's there.
Do you think they're going to open up the whole land when everything is ready? Or do you think they will open up like, a scenic walk around the lake before Arendelle is ready, for example?
I think they should wait until it's all ready for the grand, like, and do like a big hoo-ha, like with the whole thing, like unveiling of the whole land thing, because I think it takes the shine off it if you've already been able to walk around it a bit but not access the rides. It seems a bit like it'll be underwhelming for anyone. It won't encourage people to come. I don't know. Just it would be anticlimactic, I think.
Yeah, true.
To like half-arse open it. I'm sorry, I'll probably not allowed to say that either.
It's okay. We're recording this at 10 o'clock, so like, it's grand.
It's out now.
But yeah, so like in my head, like I have these dates in my head. Everyone was asking me like, oh, when's Arendelle opening? Like it's anything really from, I think, like the earliest being probably April next year. So on the next wave of like bookings.
Yeah.
So nobody's booking at Disney Hotel now can book for when it opens. So if they got some Chinese lads in, they could open it for April 12th, 2025, probably. But I'm thinking more like autumn. November is the Arendelle anniversary every year. Do you know, like the Frozen anniversary?
And that's a good time in terms of like story wise, like winter time Frozen. I think that would fit better.
But do you want the January lows of park capacity like 2 months after you've opened the brand new land, as far as like, bringing in the money? I don't know. If you go for, obviously you can't just wave a magic wand and make construction faster, but like if you could open it in April, that would be better, obviously. But They opened Avengers Campus July, so
they're going to have to do something about capacity once Frozen opens. Like they're not going to be able to keep this low capacity January's thing up if the demand's there. Like it's mad.
True. Well, it's I know mad. That. Yeah. Like so, I think we can say with a good bit of confidence that sometime between April and December of 2025. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's our exclusive. It will open in the next 2 years. There you go.
You heard it here first, everyone.
Speaking of money, did you see, or you probably did see, but what are your thoughts on how the paid VIP areas are working out for Dreams and Stars on Parade?
I haven't seen anyone really talk about it in terms of like they've done it. It's more been people like outraged that they found something else to stick the oar in for. Like personally, I wouldn't do it for Dreams just because I've seen it so many times. I wouldn't personally invest in that, like for multiple people. But I would consider it for the parade because, you know, like if you're a character person and you love interaction, that would be the kind of thing that would pull me to the Stars on Parade one if you were on a good spot where you would definitely get to like interact with the different characters on their way around. I would maybe pay for that one as a treat one time. I wouldn't do it every day or anything like that, but just like as a treat sometime. But I don't know. Like, yes, it is. It's a good idea. But then you've just told me how much they've upped the price of luggage and upped the price of like flipping everything else. It's just, it does seem like when you look at it that way, it's a bit of a money grab.
Yeah. The one for Dreams, I saw a good few people do it, in fairness, and it's bang in the front. You know, your next stop is the bridge over to the gate, so you're front and center. Now that isn't my favorite spot for the drones, actually, because drones get bigger the further you stand back.
Yeah, you're better back for drones. Yeah,
but you obviously get the whole projection story of Sky Parade and Dreams when you stand up front. Yeah. The one for the Stars on Parade, I haven't seen anyone do that at all. And I'm curious as to whether the spot is on the outside or the inside of that kind of Bellinotte little stretch of road there. Because if it's across the road from Bellinotte, like just past the towers there, you're looking back into the sun. So that's going to be a pain. And you're going to get shocking bad pictures. No.
That's not good.
But I do feel that if there are people there, that the characters are more likely to maybe give a bit extra. You know, I think that makes sense. Yeah. I think like they're going to know that area is people who have paid, and you know they want people to go back and say, "Oh, that was worth it."
That was worth it.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't seen a single person do that, and I have seen a lot of people do the Dreams one, because unfortunately, this is actually really bad, I think, and maybe something they can think about, but you have two angles to this. So you're on the way with a priority pass, you get 3 people into Disney Dreams. And, you know, the classic group or family is a family of 4. So usually someone has to go stand somewhere else, which is not a great scenario. So with this new paid place, you can now pay like 4 by €19, which is a bit much, I think. Now, you could say that, the 4th person should have an opportunity to pay into the priority area, but then you have people paying into priority area, which is meant to be for people who need accessibility issues. So it's a tricky one. I don't want people having to pay 4 times for just that 4th person to be with, you know. But it's a pity there's no halfway house that, you know, there's an option to get a 4th person in. I don't know. A lot of people who are eligible for the priority are now having to pay 4 by €19 just to be together as a family, for example.
That's brutal.
And 3 of them are eligible for the priority area. So hopefully they work something out there, because that's not cool.
Yeah,
really.
They would need to.
One thing that has been entirely positive so far, from what I hear, is the silhouettes, and I'm all for it. I love it. The silhouettes, along with kind of the lads singing, the name entirely escapes me. What's in California? Hit me.
Which one?
the barbershop
Dapper
guys.
Dans. Dapper Dans.
The Dapper Dans, yes. Like,
Love them.
I love all this stuff from Anaheim. Absolutely love it. I love all the small scale, but in fairness, high cost stuff that really cost the park money to create atmosphere. Love it all. Love all that stuff. So silhouettes.
It would be worth it, I think, to get the Dapper Dans to Paris, especially on, I don't know, I just think the Main Street area needs something like that. Like,
maybe even on weekends.
Sometimes.
Like, they could do it on weekends. Or if you knew there was going to be a certain day, like, you know, because weekends cost more. So, But the Dapper Dans came over for the 30th anniversary, I think, didn't they? I think they did.
Yeah.
A few of the originals came over.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I love all that. I love that vibe, the whole Main Street vibe thing. Getting through the news here. So we have updates to Star Tours, which go live tomorrow, apparently, which is today if the podcast comes out on Friday the 5th of April. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, we get Mandalorian, Ahsoka and Andor scenes. So any update. Star Tours is one of those rides where you can just update it, like download a file from Burbank, you know, and just whack it in. Yeah, like, you know, it's what they should have done with Illuminations for years. Just download 100%. A new trailer.
100%.
The Double Disney Dreams experiment was a huge success, I think. It's this light version of Dreams at like 6:30 or 7 p.m. at early March there. All the little families that went, you know, with their kids not able to stay up till 9 or 10 p.m. were delighted to see something, you know.
That's going to be great, you know, if they do keep that, like in the summer months where it's up until 11. Like 11 is very, very late.
It won't be summer though. It won't be summer because it's pretty much bright until 10.
Late.
Yeah,
it's too late.
Yeah,
it's too late. God, what's the point then?
Well, I mean, they could bring it back in September, October for the winter.
Yeah, it's not even open that late in September, October.
But it's like it's a lot of organisation even to run the projections. You have to clear a lot of area and make a lot of area off limits to guests just to do this. So I don't know.
And then there's just guests
see how we go.
in general.
That's guests in general, yeah. Don't start. The Ratatouille 2D experiment was a bit of a hit and miss as well. That was kind of
loved it.
Well, some people, did you see it in 2D?
Yeah, loved it.
Okay, so some people reported to me that they got a bit dizzy and that it wasn't calibrated.
Oh no, I'm just the opposite way around. I think it's an eyesight thing because I hate Ratatouille normally, but because I can't see without my glasses on. I can't see screens or projections without my glasses on. So whenever I do Ratatouille in 3D, I have to put 3D glasses over my glasses, and that messes me up. That messes me up. Whereas, like, for the 2D one, I just went on with my normal glasses, and it was the clearest, crispest I've ever seen it. I was like,
do you know what?
2D
I
works
think this
for the like people who are already specky. I think it works for.
I think this lady might have gone to see the 3D show and thinking it was 2D and trying to focus her eyes. That's why she was complaining that it wasn't good for her eyes. Okay, that's good. So, well, hopefully you know the way Stitch Live is kind of like English, French.
Yeah.
With Ratatouille, they could do maybe like a few hours of 2D, a few hours of 3D. Like,
I'd love it. I'd do it so much more often if they kept the 2D on, just because I found it more enjoyable in 2D. Yeah. Personally.
The Disney Village updates, I mean, it is what it is. Kind of they tore down the awning above Billy Bob's recently, and it's just not a vibe. The whole situation. The Planet Hollywood globe is now, you know, very, very sad.
Yeah.
In general,
it's a bit of a mess, just in general around that area. But
yeah,
I think
we all know
look good when it's done.
It is going to look good. I just hope it doesn't feel cold or like business-like again. You know, so. Hopefully they can save that from a bit of coldness going on. International Women's Day was like amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it. There was like princesses everywhere.
Yeah.
And
it was so good.
It wasn't telegraphed at all. Like I didn't expect that at all. And I'm looking up Women's Day 2025 here because that seems like a great day for characters. Some random weekday. Go for it. That's me.
Yeah, was
That's
it
me next year.
interesting that they didn't advertise it? Like, it all makes you wonder. Makes you wonder, do they not want a huge influx of people coming just for characters? And, you know, maybe they want to put the special characters out. And because I guess if you were going to tell people there was going to be this huge event, loads of people would weigh in and the character queues would be insane. Whereas if you drop it in for people who are already there, they get to have a really lovely experience with the characters without all the mayhem.
Yeah, and I see they have removed the bow from the planters in front of the Disneyland Hotel, so Mickey's back instead of Minnie. Nice to give Minnie her month of representation.
I'm delighted
I think she should
she
get
got
more
a
than a
month.
month. Yeah,
I'm delighted she got a month and they didn't try and like get rid of her after a week.
They could do a month on, month off. I know it's like a lot of work for the gardeners, but like they could definitely do a month on, month off. I think equality and all that, you know.
I would never say no to more Minnie.
Never. She is an angel.
Yeah.
The new snack location in Frontierland is a win all round, I believe. I will refer back to our resident snack queen, Andrea, Andy's Magic and Snacks, who was a big fan of the new turkey leg.
Yep.
I had it also, and it's definitely a better quality product. Like it's better meat they're using. Mine didn't have any barbecue sauce on it. That's fine, whatever. But like, it's not as big as the ones in Florida, clearly, or California for that matter. These turkeys like are not glowing green before they meet their maker, and they're doing churros too. The churros are basically, I believe they're just the churros from Casa de Coco, kind of just out on the road, which is grand. People have said they're nice.
Yeah.
All the churros and kind of waffles and things all around the place are grand. You know, just a bit of sugar.
If you've done the American parks, they're quite underwhelming. The churros, anyway. I think the waffles in Paris are lovely. The waffles in Paris are very, very nice, but the churros are not the same. They're dry. I
got nice churros from the Spanish cart that was there for the winter. You know, the studios kind of Ibergamon thing. Yeah. And it was a Spanish cart there. And now Andrea tells me that they're not fresh at all, but maybe they're just like reheated better. If you get me, that's what we're working with here. Alice and the Queen of Hearts Back to Wonderland. This new show coming up, the BMX trippy show. Like, this has everything indicating that it should be a disaster, but I think this is going to be an absolute banger. Like,
yeah, I think it'll be class.
I think it's just going to be peak the best of DLP. What DLP does is live entertainment, and I think they're going to smash this. Like, no pressure on the lads who are in the show or whatever, but I'm excited and I shouldn't be.
No, you should be. I think it'll be good. I think it will be really good.
I'm not a huge Alice fan or whatever. I've watched the 1951 original and the first Johnny Depp one in the last few weeks just to refresh a bit, and I do not enjoy watching those movies at all. They're just too trippy for me. No, it's peak like Tim Burton, you know, which is a strange vibe, but this new show is going to be whopper. I think it's going to be absolute mega. I can't wait to see the kind of sneak peeks coming up. What is like next Friday. And then we talked about Paddy's Day already. That's just on the list we have here. Paddy's Day was pretty poor, so let's not talk about it again. If anyone's listening who has any power to make Paddy's Day better next year, I will book my tickets right now. If you can tell me it's going to be a little bit better, but we'll see.
We'll see.
It's handy. It's handy because it's an Irish bank holiday and it's not a bank holiday anywhere else, so it's handy for that reason.
Yeah, I guess.
So, Symphony of Superfans. Sorry, back to the point at hand here. Symphony of Superfans is our series that started off with Aisling last week. And last episode, it wasn't last week, it was last month. It was 2 months ago. But so we wanted to talk to superfans, and then I was thinking, like, you know, we had a bit of scheduling this week. We couldn't get anyone on because we moved around our own little schedule. So why don't we just ask ourselves the questions that we would ask guests? Because like we are super fans, in fairness.
Exactly.
I'll go first, and we can just shoot the breeze or whatever. But I know I've seen pictures of you being very young at Disneyland Paris. So tell us, Megan, where did all your love of all things Disney start?
If we're going way back.
Way back. Go back.
When I was literally the week I was born, my dad bought me like a Mickey Mouse teddy. And literally I have it still. He's absolutely dilapidated. He's not in a good way, but that was like my first sort of interaction with Disney. And yeah, that was it. Sorry. Watching Amy climb the sofa here.
Where did, that's grand. I've been on podcasts where there's been like cats flying around the screens and everything. Your fiance is well entitled to live in your house.
I'm just like trying to like well-being check over there. But yeah, that was it. When I was like really little, I had like a Mickey Mouse teddy, and then I went to my first Disney park when I was about 7, and it was Disneyland Paris. So that's when it all kind of started for me. Am I going to ask you back, or are we doing one?
Yeah, I'll
forward?
go.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's an interesting dynamic because I'm not the classic Disney fan. Do you know? I mean, like, if you did a poll on Disney accounts on Instagram, whatever, most of them are not like lads, you know,
no
Disney dads or whatever. So, like, I was into Disney when I was young. But it wasn't like the be all and end all for me when I was in the 90s or whatever. Like, I didn't see Hercules like when it came out at all. I didn't see like I would have seen Aladdin and stuff like that, but I couldn't tell you the difference. Like, do you know, remember that movie Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest? For example, I couldn't tell you where it was kind of a Disney movie but wasn't made by Disney. So like I couldn't tell you whether that was Disney or not Disney when I saw it, because I didn't have that pull to Disney whatsoever. I just loved good movies, and like, you know, The Land Before Time was my absolute classic, and I didn't know that, like, for example, Robin Hood was a Disney movie until like 10-20 years later. You know, that creepy Robin Hood animated movie.
Yeah,
and then like
I
Disney,
associate that.
No, but like that was like for me growing up, as you know, I was in my, I would say, early teens towards the end of the 90s. I'm doing the maths, yeah. But like the Renaissance era, like, you know, Little Mermaid wouldn't have pulled me in as like, you know, 10-12-year-old boy. That just wouldn't have been the vibe kind of thing. So I first went to Disneyland Paris in 98. I think we might have been the same year actually, but we were different ages.
Yeah,
obviously.
I think I would have been 98.
Yeah, 98. My sister had a much, like, obviously I was 12 at the time, give away my age there, and like she wanted to treat us all, you know, she had a good nursing job and wanted to treat us all to her little holiday. We hadn't never had a holiday, to be honest with you, and so she just walked into some travel agent and booked like Newport Bay for like 4 or 5 nights. Crazy. And I didn't know this place existed really beforehand. Like, I pretty much all my friends growing up who were going over to Euro Disney at the time, like I never saw myself being able to go there, like, and sure, here I am going every month now.
Yeah, I know.
And
how times change.
It's gas. But like then from 98, didn't go back for about another 10 years. Again, just the age really, like early 20s and college and stuff wasn't the vibe. You know, I loved the kind of production and performance of the whole place, but it just wasn't on my vibe to go back. And then met the lovely wife in 2007, 2008, and we started going on trips and stuff, and then we quickly back over to Paris, and then the rest, as they say, is history. You know, did like California and Florida and stuff. I loved California. I did like Florida, but I just wasn't. It was just so big, and it's just so, I don't know. It's like as if, I don't want to offend people who love Florida now, but I just felt that Florida was just kind of like as if Disney were going to do a park in like Dubai or Saudi Arabia these days, is the Florida version. Like, it's very hard to transplant the heart of what is Disney and Disney parks into Florida. But I mean, fair play to everyone who loves it. Maybe I'll love it one day, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I think that's the second question.
Yeah, I did my second question, but go ahead. You can. What Disney parks have you visited?
Just the 2 parks at Disneyland Paris, the 2 parks in California, and I'm gonna bung Olani in Hawaii in there as well.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like a Disney. It's a Disney resort. It's not a theme park, but it's a Disney resort in Hawaii. I've been to that too. So yeah, those are my ones.
Yeah, that's definitely a bucket list thing. I don't think when I visited California, I'm not sure if DCA was open. I think I visited California in 2011, so I'm not sure if it was open. Maybe it was just open. No. I remember just we had a rental car and just like we're rocking up and just like, oh yeah, ticket to whatever, the main park, whatever. But yeah, the more vlogs I see and like all the content creators in California, the more I really want to go back to California. Is like, kids, would you hurry up and grow up?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I know.
It's a fierce long flight. But yeah, I don't. There's a lot of things like they do this thing in like sports where like, you know, if 2 teams are playing each other, what person from each team would play in each position, and California and Paris, there's an awful lot of stuff that Paris does really well, and most of it is to do with the Imagineers who built the main park in '92. In fairness,
yeah.
But yeah, the general vibe and the snacks and the fact that there's so many attractions in California just probably just ekes it from me. And the fact that it's waltz footsteps you're walking in, as they say. What is your favourite ride?
In Paris or anywhere?
Yeah, anywhere. Of any ride you've been to, yeah. Any park.
Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout in California Adventure. This
is the Tower of Terror kind of re-theme.
Yeah.
It's more than a re-theme, it's a deep re-theme, yeah.
It's deep. It's like, it's not even, it's not just drops. It's like the lift bounces in time to the music and everything.
I didn't know that.
They play the soundtrack. There's like 5 different songs you can get. And like, you know, in the Tower of Terror, when you go to it like stops you and you see the little girl and she does her wee speech. It's like a video of the Guardians. I don't want to spoil it too much for people, but like it's a video, the Guardians messing about, but you're actually bouncing in time to the music on the left, and then you drop, and it's just like, it's fabulous. Like, it really,
nice.
really,
so
really
it's
good.
Like, it's not a Tower of Terror that's filled with dread, basically.
No, and everyone's singing along. Everyone sings along on it as well. It's so fun.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know it was so changed, because I know like Cosmic Rewind in Florida has that, you know, that every time, that thing where every time you get on, you don't know what song you're going to get. So, obviously they've brought a bit of that into California. But that's really cool. I think like I'm going to be boring and say like BTM in Paris is my favorite ride.
It's still a great ride.
It's my favorite. Like, I could probably ride that all day. I've done it, I think, 3 times in a row. My daughter loves it. And then when I found out that we did some, I think it was the AP party last September, when I found out that when it's cold or dark they can go faster, so there's a speed, and when it's cold the tracks can take more speed. So like when I found that out, I was like, oh god, this is next level stuff. But yeah, I probably have BTM I can't really remember the ones in Florida and California, to be honest with you. I would like to see Mickey's Runaway Railway, just for the whole.
That's my second favorite.
Yeah, the trippiness of it, and the fact that we don't have a Mickey ride really. Like, it's in Paris, it's missing a bit of that.
Yeah, definitely.
What is your favorite ride that other people might hate?
Favorite ride that other people hate? Oh, Flight Force.
I can tell you what it is. Yeah, exactly.
I know a lot of people won't do. Yeah. Like, Flight Force is my favorite ride at Disneyland Paris, but I know a lot of people don't really like it because it is quite rough. So if you're in any way like suffer from like anything, like, maybe think twice.
If you suffer from anything, if you have a heart. I rode Space Mountain for the first time in a long time last week, and it was way rougher than I remember it being. I don't know, we just got a bad ending to it. Like, the whole thing stopped and then jerked a bit, and like everyone whacked their head off the back, and everyone just popping the paracetamol straight after the ride because it was just not cool. But if Flyforce is like that, I mean, you know, you have to go on it. But I think my one is Cars Road Trip, and it's purely because it's a nice sit down. You know what you're getting. It's the closest thing Disneyland Paris has to a water ride. And yeah, I think they could develop it more. Like, they could develop it easy. Like, it's just a lot of land, and they could make it a better Cars experience, because people love Cars. People love Cars, the Cars franchise, way more than I think the likes of me and you care about, because I just think it's massive for merch, and it's massive for kids that age and stuff like that like, it's a huge win, and people go on that ride and then that's it. Like, so if they just developed it a bit more, or maybe had like a shop down there or something, like a car shop.
There's definitely room. Like the movie, when it was I don't know what's called, the movie ride, what it's called, like the tram tour, that was definitely a longer track. Like, there is land out there that they could possibly add a wee bit more to it or something. I don't know. It's apart from the big water park, there's not an awful lot to see.
True. And I don't know if you were there, I think, well, you were there a few days before me, but like, now one of the buildings around the lake is right there at Cars Road Trip, just behind the hoarding. And really? It's very tall. Like, it's 2 or 3 stories tall. So that's not going to feel like such a kind of a cul-de-sac anymore. That's gonna exit straight onto the lake, that area. So maybe it'll feel like a bit better when it doesn't feel like you're trekking down to a corner to do a crappy ride, you know. When it's just something to do when you're waiting for the lake shows. What is your favourite snack at the parks? Any park?
Churro toffee, again at California. That's my favourite by a long shot.
Are these the churros that are like 18 inches long?
No, it's this little squares. It's like a square of toffee, but it's like got churro topping, like, so it's all the sugar and it's like cinnamon. It's so, like, when you eat it, you feel your teeth rotting away, but it's that's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It really is. Like, I couldn't have it. Like, it's good that you can only get it in America, because I would have no teeth left if you could get it here. It's addictive. It's really, really addictive substance. Probably couldn't even sell it over here legally, but
no.
It's really good.
That is the thing, actually. Like, do Disneyland Paris want to do snacks and are held back by some sort of government health thing? It's hard to know.
I almost understand how bad their snacks are if that was the reason.
Well, that's the only reason I know, because I mean, we were talking recently about snacks over there, and like, I have yet to experience French culinary expertise, really, and that's also a reason. That's also due to my own kind of boringness and where I go to. Basically, most of my trips, well, nearly all my trips are to Disneyland Paris as opposed to real Paris. So I'm yet to experience like French culinary expertise. So all how good like French food and everything is, it's just what people tell me it is.
Yeah.
I'm yet to see any proof that it actually is next level, you know, and what I've seen in Disneyland Paris doesn't give you any confidence, really.
No,
that the French know what they're doing.
Paris is not a representation of good French food, for sure. Like, it's terrible.
But it's not even a representation of good American food. Like, why can't they do good American food?
No.
I think we need another podcast for that, really, don't we?
I know. I need to run and get my laptop charger. Keep talking.
Okay,
I'll ask you a question and you can answer it. The next one is your favourite time of the year to visit the parks. I'm still listening.
That's actually hilarious, because like, I have a 2012 MacBook and it doesn't last like 5 minutes without needing charge, so my laptop is constantly plugged in. So favourite time of the year in the parks, I would have to say, having visited in March just gone, March I found a bit wetter than I expected it to be. I went March last year and it was very sunny and crisp, but March this year has been very wet. So I would say kind of April, May, and then at the other end, I would say September, October, because I'm basically just picking. Make sure Megan doesn't fall over her chair. I'm basically just picking like the months where you can go and be in a t-shirt during the day and a jumper at night, and you have a really good chance of having, you know, where the weather isn't a factor in your trip. So for example, if you go in June or July, particularly July, late July, you're pretty much guaranteed to have extremely hot weather at Disneyland Paris, and that could be a factor on the other side. So I would say, just to summarize, like March, April and September, October are like the peak enjoyment months for me. But then I thought that I would like Christmas more than I liked it. It didn't reach the heights for me. Didn't. Like, I'm a big Christmas guy, but I just thought that
it doesn't
in my head I like Disney was not compatible with Christmas. In my head when I was there, I was just like, this feels weird. Like Disney singing, like pumping out religious songs was just not a vibe for me.
No, that's not a vibe for me, and it never has been. But I do like the Christmas parade.
Yes.
That's the main thing about Christmas that I like at Disneyland Paris. But I find the Disney, not to get this is a whole other podcast, but like Disney and religious music is very jarring.
Yeah, that's like okay to think that, like that's like I don't think
it's not particularly inclusive in my opinion, but
I don't think you're alone in that. Like, and in fairness, like I'm not someone who is like jarred by religious music. I'm not overly religious myself now, but like I'm not jarred by religious music in shops in Dublin, for example. That's just one of those things.
No,
but
no,
just
I wouldn't either.
with Disney, it just feels weird. It feels strange. But I hear that, speaking on parades, either the Halloween parade or the Christmas parade is changing this year. Apparently,
it has to be the Halloween
rumors.
one. The Christmas one's relatively new. The Halloween one has been there for I've been going to the parks at Halloween since 2019, and it's been the same parade. And
I was there too.
In October 2019. It's outlasted. It's been there longer than that. Like that wasn't the first showing of that Mickey Mouse Halloween celebration thing. Like they've had that years.
Well, looking forward to it. I have a little trip in October, so I'll hopefully get that.
Very good.
What was your thing? What was your answer to that question? Favorite time of the year?
Halloween, any park.
Yeah, all in.
Yeah, all in. Halloween, any park. I'm for Halloween, whether that's America or here, or well, I say here, Paris or California. It's Festival of the Holidays in California Adventure is brilliant as well. It's a really nice because over there they're like Disneyland Park does like regular Christmas just like ours does, and then California Adventure has more like a festival celebrating other holidays that happen around
nice.
November, December, and it's got like Hanukkah, and it's got like Viva Navidad and all this stuff goes on all around the parks, and it's a really nice inclusive like way to include everyone.
Yeah, they could do that in studios, no better.
100%.
Because
100%.
studios doesn't even recognise the fact that it's in any way Christmas. Even just the end of the year. It doesn't. Yeah. Favorite memory at the parks? Not to get too corny, but what's been your like when you think? You can include that mini meet if you want to.
Yeah, probably that mini meet at Newport Bay, or my first Oogie Boogie Bash. One of those would be my top two.
I think for me, it was the weekend that the 30th anniversary finished. That last day, and it's really curious because like, as many people love the 30th and love Dream and Shine Brighter and all that, like some people within Disney and even fans as well, like guests, have a really I need to carefully pick my words here. There's a lot of exception taken to ultra fans of Dream and Shine Brighter and the 30th in general, and I don't know how to even talk about it. But I'm not an ultra fan. Just to clear that up, I loved it. I was all in, you know. But I just loved the energy. Like everyone who wanted to be there was there just to party, and like I know people were camping out for the 4 whole shows of Dream and Shine Brighter for the whole day. But like, fair play to them, whatever. I saw some stuff that I was like that's a bit weird, but yeah, it was just a great weekend because we had like an AP party that weekend too with the Villains Night, and then we had the start of Halloween, so it was just like a fantastic weekend. And I was there, just myself and my daughter, and you know, we were jumping around, making friends with people, and you know, it was just I thought it was a great weekend. What are you most looking forward to in the coming years at Disneyland Paris or Disney parks in general?
What am I most looking forward to? I am carrying on with my rumour that they're going to retheme the Tower of Terror at Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, put it out there.
I want that. That's what I want. And I also would actually no. That's number 2. I want to see a new daytime parade in the Disneyland park. I want to see Stars and Parade. Stars and Parade.
Yeah.
Fuck that out.
Yeah.
Hot Mess Express. Get rid of it. Like a nice new one with nice new floats. Not a repaint of the Princess float that's been done so many times. We want new floats, new characters on the floats. Boom.
Yeah. Like I'm zooming out here and I'm thinking, right, they're doing up studios. They did up New York, then Disneyland Hotel, then Sequoia's next, Disney Village. Like, until those massive projects get done, I know it's like the builders don't build the floats, but I mean, just from a budget point of view, I don't see them really being able to. Like, I'm not happy with that, by the way. I hate Stars on Parade pretty much. Like, Stars on Parade is great for, like, I always hark back to like just families who go like every 3 or 4 years, for example.
Yeah, they
see all the characters in one go. It's great.
Yeah,
but I'm not a huge fan of that. Even the music, do you remember when you, again going back to Pearl Celine, when you were watching Illuminations and Celine Dion came on, you would just kind of zone out for a few minutes, and like when I pretty much hear Stars on Parade, I just kind of go, oh, this, you know. So and it's a shame because like the cast members give it absolute socks, and I know how much work goes into those shows, and like, but we need a new thing at 5:30, please.
We do. Please, anything.
I'm looking forward to, I mean, the obvious one is Arendelle, but I really am looking forward to this so-called like second land in the studios. I think that could really be the make or break for whatever it's going to be. Like, it has to be. So it has to be either Star Wars, Pandora, or Lion King Land.
Those are the three. Lion King Land. I want Lion King Land so bad. I don't even know what it would look like, and I want it so bad.
I was thinking that the Lion King Land is, okay, you look at the pipeline of IP coming out. You have that new Mufasa movie that's coming out in a few months, but a land is not going to get built for 3 years. So I'm not sure if they have like much more IP to do with the Lion King ever in the future. But on the spin of that, the Lion King is a good banker of an IP, like the original movie, and you know, all the Timon and Pumbaa stuff.
Love it. I find like I was like anytime we've been to Disneyland Paris, I feel like Adventureland and Lion King merch just hand in hand. There is just Lion King everywhere.
Yeah,
absolutely everywhere. Like, there must be really like the fact that they're even considering a Lion King land, like, it must be popular. Like, it must be one of the big ones over there.
I think it translates really well between the languages as well. I think that you can do an awful lot of Lion King stuff without language, and that's where they love going. They love going places that you can kind of act it out, and like, for example, like animals, whatever, like, or just play the songs from the movie. Avatar Land is obviously going to be great with like the 3 or 4 movies still to come out in the series or whatever. I'm not huge into Avatar, so wouldn't float my boat too much, but I think the land in Florida, it looks incredible, so I can't see us getting really that much money.
I'm not really into Avatar, but like equally, it's kind of like Marvel though. If you can put a good ride in there, like I'd go to the land. Like
if they could put like soaring, if they could put soaring there,
sell me Avatar.
Yeah, I mean, Flight of Passage, you know that one.
Oh yeah, that one's great.
That's meant to be very good. Yeah. So there we go. Just all we need is a e-ticket, a ride to come. Literally. And what is, like, we don't have all night now, Megan, but what is the one thing you would change? Let's just keep it to Disneyland Paris for this one. What is the one thing you would change at Disneyland Paris if you could just go click your fingers? Boom.
Just
where to start?
Just the one. I would, based on just our last trip, I would just get rid of the idea of running the park in B mode, because like that's just not good. It's not good practice, and it's not good. It's not acceptable anywhere else. And like, you know, it's not acceptable to pull all shows from Adventures Campus for 2 months of the year and say they can't afford it because it's Disney. Of course they can afford it. That's my tea. Stop pulling things. Like that's that.
I know, and like I can't work out the logistics of it, but like I think they had Big Thunder Mountain, Crush, and Phantom Manor down at the same time in March for most of March.
When we were there, Crush and Big Thunder were both down, and we just got on Phantom Manor. It was just about to close when we were leaving.
Well, there you go. So what would I change? I think this is a hot take, but yes, I think like when you hear of like guests going to Disneyland Paris and not having a good time, it's because of other guests.
Yes. And
I think that Disneyland Paris should do some sort of educational campaign, let's say, in good spirit. I think you could do this, get ahead of the game and be proactive instead of being reactive. A well-spirited educational campaign in multiple languages, by the way, to, you know, how to treat people, how to give people space in the parks, how not to treat people, how to, you know, how not to react, how not to smoke all around the parks, and, you know, things like that.
And like etiquette, just general like queuing etiquette and things like.
Well, you could you could look at the exit after Dreams, and that is a classic case of some sort of zoo, or every man for themselves. You know, it's not okay. It's not okay. It's nearly midnight, so we won't keep it too late. So, do you have any trip plans or any, like, you know, not even anything booked, but like, you know, thinking about anything?
Nothing booked. I think my next park trip is probably going to be California. But I haven't booked anything, nor have I pinned down a time, nor have I, like, I've done absolutely nothing to facilitate this. It's just in my head. It feels like that's where I'll be next. Manifesting. What about you? What's your next one?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, obviously the Irish Ears trip to California would be good crack, you know.
Tingles just thinking about it.
Yeah, no, I have group trip April, daddy-daughter weekend May. This is Paris, obviously. Right. All Paris.
Lovely.
Bastille Day. Camping for a week in August. Look forward to that. Wow. Like locally to Disneyland Paris.
Very nice. That'll be different.
A cheeky little kind of long weekend in Cheyenne in October. That should be nice.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, and spicy. And then Disneyland Hotel next January. Just lob it in there.
Got like
you know,
100 trips.
Well, like, I gotta pay them off, so I gotta book them in and then pay them off. And most of them are trips that I can put down as content and stuff like that. So, you know, it's I'd like to keep up to date with the parks and experience the parks regularly. And yeah, what can I say? I'm lucky. I'm a lucky man. Yeah. I think we'll leave it there. So Megan, I think that's a good innings. We're nearly up to 2-hour podcast here. If we can save the first hour, I'll work magic.
Manifest.
Go ahead there. See us out.
Okay, that's a wrap on episode 11 of Irish Ears, a Disney Fancast. You can keep up to speed with us both, Stuart on DLP Tips for Irish and myself on Megan Loves Magic on socials. Like we always say, we'll try and do the podcast more often, but for now we'll say a bientôt. See you soon.
Bye bye.